Hello everyone, welcome to Sham's Garden. So today we got a special plant right in here, aloe vera. So I'm going to be showing you how to grow aloe vera on earth and in containers and how you can care for them. So let's get into the video. Here's my garden that I've been trying to develop over time during these quarantine days. Here's the pet cat that we grow. So you can notice that the soil is really sandy and aloe vera loves sandy soil. So if you got sandy soil, you can go ahead and planting your aloe vera. Measure the area that you're gonna plant and dig the right size hole. So if you're gonna dig a quite larger hole or wider hole, it's gonna create air pockets. So when the plant's growing, if it touches the air pocket, the roots may get damaged. So don't dig a quite a big hole. I'm going to be cutting the lowermost leaves of this aloe vera to increase the root development. So more the plant that is under the ground, the more roots it's gonna develop. So don't bury your whole plant for that. Well, just quite the depth that it requires to grow well. Well, I'm splicing the topmost part of the aloe vera because after I removed the lowermost leaves, the weight was really undistributed. Well, it's not necessary, but I'm doing it for the plant's better growth. If you taste aloe vera, it'll be quite bitter. So that's the reason a lot of pests don't like to feed on it. I'm burying the aloe vera leaves in the same pit to repel root nematodes and pests. I'm also using dry cow dung as a slow release fertilizer and also as a moisture retainer. Well, you could use cocoa peat, but in case you don't have cocoa peat, you could go for dry cow dung. Well, if you're using cocoa peat, try to add a little bit of compost or some kind of fertilizer with it because cocoa peat doesn't have any kind of nutrients. After preparing the planting pit, try to keep the aloe vera and check the planting depth. After planting, mount the soil around the plant and compress around the root zone to remove any air pockets in the soil. Well, air pockets tend to damage roots while the plants are growing. Make sure that you don't do that. Drench the soil with water after you planted. Well, use the dry and wet method. If you see the topsoil dry, then you can water the aloe vera. Well, aloe vera is a succulent, so it loves less water. When choosing leaf cuttings, make sure to choose leaves that have moderate amount of gel in it. Don't go for too thick leaves or leaves that are totally dried up. Place the leaf cuttings under direct sunlight to dry the ends. Well, after a few hours, you may notice that the bottom and the top part will have stuck together and there's no gel leaking out of it. Just as we planted in the ground, we're gonna cut the lowermost leaves in here. Well, I'm not gonna splice the top part in here because the aloe vera is really small and it's quite sturdy. I'm gonna be planting these two aloe veras in the soil that we prepared in our first video. If you haven't watched that video, I'll leave a link above. After planting, make sure to compress the soil around the container. Well, you don't want to leave air pockets in here because air pockets will tend to damage your young roots. Make sure that the leaf cuttings are really dry, that there's no gel leaking out of it. While planting leaf cuttings, just dig shallow holes. Don't go too deep because the roots may not develop quite properly. Well, you could use sandy soil for leaf cuttings. Don't go for clay soil because the roots may not develop. And keep the soil quite dry because aloe vera loves dry soil, and don't keep it too wet because it may rot the leaves. Drench the soil with water. Well, keep the soil moist but not wet because aloe vera is a succulent. It will rot easily if you add too much water. So when it comes to fertilizing aloe vera, you could use banana peels or your kitchen waste or compost that you make. That's more than enough for your aloe vera. Well, make sure to keep your aloe vera in a well lit, direct sunlight place. Well, in quite a few months your aloe vera will start to grow puffs around it. So after it had occupied your entire container, you could well separate it and keep it in separate pots, or you could leave it as it is and take cuttings out of it. If you like this video, do hit the subscribe button and give a thumbs up, and if you have any doubts, you could always leave it in the comment section. I will be ready to answer you. Thank you.